We've got a little bit of everything in today's top 5 cards. Football, basketball, hockey, and even some vintage baseball that is going up. But what cards are going up the most? We'll tell you next. Hello, sports card investors, and welcome to another Top 5 Tuesday. And today is the day, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight is the virtual holiday card show live on this channel on Sports Card Investor on YouTube. And it is going to be unlike anything you have seen before. It is bigger and better this year. We are giving away so much stuff tonight. We've got the Cup Hockey, we got National Treasures Motif, Gilded Collection, WNBA products, Contenders Football, and this is just a small bit of everything that's going to be given away. Join us tonight. We are live on this YouTube channel from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Then we're going to go over to Whatnot from 10 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time for even more giveaways and some great products that will be on sale tonight. It's all brought to you by Whatnot, and it is the virtual holiday card show tonight and tomorrow night, Wednesday night as well, 8 p.m. Eastern on this channel. Be there. We'll see you tonight and tomorrow night. But now, let's talk about the sports card market, because that's what we are here to do with this show. And we're going to start today's show by taking a look at the overall sports card market, by looking at the market pulse by Market Movers. And you know what? We are down a little bit over the last week, still up on the year overall. Hopefully we end the year on a high note. We'll see how these last few weeks go. It is basketball cards from 2018 through 2020 that are dragging the market down. Actually, one of those big basketball cards from that time frame is going to be our cold card of the day, and you'll see the effect it is having on the overall sports card market here in just a moment. So you know what? Let's get started. Let's get going with today's top 5. So we're going to start today with that cold card that I referenced just a minute ago. One of those players from basketball from 2018, 2019, 2020. His team is actually doing really well this year, but his cards are coming down. He's only played in about half of his team's games. His stats are good, but maybe not exceptional the way that sports card investors would like to see. I'm talking about Ja Morant, the guard of the Memphis Grizzlies. I told you the Grizzlies, they're doing good. They're 17-8. They're in second place in the West, which is a huge accomplishment. The West is absolutely loaded. And the Grizzlies are on a run. They've won 9 of their last 10 games. But despite this, Morant's card market is coming down. Now, Ja Morant has only played in 14 of the 25 games so far this year. He's averaging 22 points a game on 46% shooting, but he did make headlines earlier this month for self-imposing a dunking ban in an effort to protect himself from injuries. But he did break that ban with a highlight reel double clutch reverse slam on Kristaps Porzingis in a decisive win over Boston. That game he had 32 points, but he has now missed the last few games and he is back to day-to-day status. I think the sports card hobby is just a little weary of Ja Morant and also Zion, those key 2019 rookies, because of their injury history. They're a little worried about what's going to happen as this season goes on, and as a result, his cards are being sold off and prices are dropping. Let's take a look at some of those cards here in Market Movers. This is his 2019 Prism Silver card. We've also got his Prism Base card. I'm sure you all recognize those cards. We're going to look at those in PSA 10 condition. We're also going to look at this Concourse Silver from Select in PSA 10 condition. His Luminance card, amazing image on that card. Love that card from 2019 Chronicles. We'll look at that in PSA 10 condition. And then that famous 2019 Chronicles card with young Dolph in the background. We're going to look at that one, and actually a smattering of important people in the background. This is the card that seems to get hot and then come back down again, periodically. We'll look at that one in PSA 10 condition as well. You can see on the graph, it's not been a good 30 days for these cards overall. In fact, these are down anywhere between about 1% and all the way down at 36%. His Prism Silver is down the most. 30 days ago, somebody bought that card for $500. That card most recently sold for $319. So all of these cards going the wrong direction. His Select Concourse Silver has dropped from $129 down to $103. And that Chronicles card with Young Dolph in the background, that one's dropped from $239 down to $203 in PSA 10 condition. So disappointing to see, especially with how good the Grizzlies are playing, but who knows? Maybe if they continue to play well come playoff time, Ja Morant's cards will be back on the rise again. But now let's turn our attention to cards going up, and we're starting with our investment card of the week. This week it is Shoeless Joe Jackson and his iconic 1915 Cracker Jack card. Now, this past Sunday on the Sports Card Investor YouTube channel, we did a collection tour with Patrick Ryan. That was a great video. If you haven't seen that yet, check that out. That was a couple days ago. Patrick Ryan had a copy of this 1915 Cracker Jack Shoeless Joe Jackson in his collection, and he made very, very good points about this card. Not only is the card famous because, of course, of Shoeless Joe Jackson's infamous role in the 1919 World Series, the gambling scandal with the Chicago Black Sox, despite the fact, by the way, that during that series he had 12 hits and no errors, but he did admit to a grand jury that he accepted money, but he said he didn't throw the games. His play would indicate probably that he didn't. You guys probably know the whole movie Field of Dreams, all based around this, of course. But Patrick Ryan made the great point that not only is the card part of baseball history, but it's really also part of like gambling history and lore. So it kind of has become a historical artifact that extends beyond even sports card collecting. It gets a little bit more into kind of general historical interest for that time period. So all of this makes this card very sought after, and it's doing big things in the market. Let's take a look. And here is that infamous 1915 Cracker Jack card that we're talking about, a Shoeless Joe Jackson, here in Market Movers. I brought it up in several different grades, PSA 2, PSA 3, PSA 4, PSA 5, PSA 6, and then SGC 9. We'll talk about that one in a minute. But if you look at the chart, you can see that we're looking at years worth of data on this particular chart, and there's very few sales. In fact, only the PSA 2 has enough sales in order for us to even draw a trend line on our chart. The card doesn't sell very often. Now, when it does, it seems to jump up every single time. Like, look at this PSA 2, for example. The last time that it sold was in April of 2023, so a year and a half ago. It sold for $63,000. Well, the sale right before that was back in 2022. It sold for $30,000, and then you got to go back to 2017, where it sold for $12,000. So this card has been going every time it sells. It has been jumping up and up. The other grades are selling even less frequently than that. Why is it? Well, if we hop over to GemRate and look at the total population of this card, GemRate will look at the population data, not just a PSA, but also BGS and SGC. You can see that there's only a total population of 204 of this card that have ever been graded. So it's a pretty rare card. Across all grades combined, it's a pretty rare card, and many of those 204 copies are locked away in collections. They don't see the open market very often. But when they do, they can set record prices. And the reason why we're focusing in on this card today is because of this particular sale right here. The SGC 9 of this card just sold a few days ago for $504,000, which is setting an all-time record for this card in any condition. So a big sale, a card that I think long-term will continue to remain a good investment. It's a card that's certainly a big piece of baseball and American history. That is the 1915 Cracker Jack Shoeless Joe Jackson. Now let's turn our attention to a player playing today. The number 5 card in today's hot list is Amen Thompson, the forward for the Houston Rockets. You probably remember Thompson was the 4th overall pick back in the 2023 NBA draft. His brother, by the way, went 5th overall in the 2023 NBA draft. But so far, Amen Thompson is having the better NBA career. This season, he is averaging almost 12 points per game, 7 rebounds per game on 55% shooting for the Rockets. And he scored a season-high 22 points this past Sunday in a win against the Clippers. The Rockets are 16-8. They are tied for 3rd place in the West. And this has basketball card collectors and investors starting to get pretty excited about Amen Thompson's cards. Let's take a look at a few of them here in Market Movers from 2023 Hoops. This is a short print. That's his presentations card in PSA 10 condition. We're going to look at his 2023 Prism Red out of 299. Nice color match there with the Rockets. The red color border matches the jerseys quite nicely. We'll look at that in PSA 10 condition. We're also going to look at the red ice, another color match. in PSA 10 condition. We're going to look at the Prism Silver from 2023 Prism and PSA 10 condition, and then finally from 2023 Select. Let's look at a color match here as well. This is the Concourse Red, number 199. All of these in PSA condition, and you can see from the chart all of these moving up over the last 30 days. In fact, these cards are up anywhere between about 12% and 171%. Look at some of these have gone crazy. His Presentations Super Short Print from Hoops in PSA 10 was around $53 30 days ago. Now it is $112. His Prism Red has jumped from $171 to $203. His Red Ice from $49 to $55. His Prism Silver has jumped up from around $52 all the way up to about $89 as of the most recent sale. And then finally, how about his Select Concourse Red? That was less than $20 30 days ago. Today, it is almost $53. Nice increases this last month for Amen Thompson's cards. Let's go to football for the number 4 card today, and it is Jared Goff, the quarterback of the Detroit Lions. Teapot from my sports card investor team is going to be thrilled with this one because he's a Lions fan. And Jared Goff has already been in the top 5 this year, but he is back again, and deservedly so. The Lions just continue to win. They're currently 12-1. They're tied for the best record in the NFL with the Chiefs. They have the lead in the NFC. And even though the Lions are tied with the Chiefs with that best record, the Lions statistically have been more dominant this season, particularly their point differential is much greater than the Chiefs' point differential. The Lions are really blowing a lot of their competitors out of the water, where, of course, the Chiefs continue to win these very, very close games. Now, Goff's stats this year, they've been pretty impressive. He's already thrown for almost 3,300 yards and 25 touchdowns. He has 10 interceptions so far this season. He's leading the NFC with a passer rating of 109, and his completion percentage is also leading the NFC. It is 72.5%. So a lot of reasons for Lions fans to be excited, and a lot of reasons for those of you who may hold Jared Goff's cards, you should be excited as well. And let's take a look at a few of those cards here in Market Movers. This is his 2016 Prism rookie card. We're going to look at the orange out of $299 in PSA 10 condition. We're also going to look at his 2016 Optic Holo in PSA 10 condition, his 2016 Prism Silver. We'll look at this one in PSA 9 because there haven't been enough sales of the PSA 10 recently. And then we're going to look at his 2016 Select Field Level Silver in PSA 10 condition. Nice looking card there. I like those Select cards especially from earlier years. Just classy looking card in my opinion. That's a nice design. Anyway, it doesn't matter which one of these you have. They're all up quite a bit over the last 30 days. You can see that on the chart. These are all up anywhere between about 18% and over 75%. That orange out of $299 from Prism in PSA 10 has jumped from $285 all the way up to $500. That is a nice increase over the last 30 days. The Optic Holo has moved up from $235 up to $349. The Prism Silver in PSA 9 has moved up from $71 to $84. And the Select Field Level Silver in PSA 10, that one's jumped a lot as well. That was $143 30 days ago. It is now $250. A really strong month for Jared Goff's cards. For the number 3 spot today, we have a combination of players, 2 all-time greats from baseball, Dave Parker and Dick Allen. They are combined together because they have both made it together into the Hall of Fame. Now, Dave Parker played right field for 19 seasons during the 1970s and 1980s. He played for 6 major league teams, including the Pirates, Reds, and Athletics. During that time, he won 2 batting titles. He won an NL MVP award, a smattering of other awards. His career stats are really nice. .290 batting average across his career with 339 home runs, and he's remembered for having an absolute rocket of an arm. Dick Allen had a very long career as well. He played 15 years in the 1960s and 1970s, mostly with the Phillies and the White Sox. Dick Allen made 7 All-Star appearances. He also won an MVP award for the American League back in 1972. And a lot of advanced stats people love him because his Fangraphs OPS Plus is actually the highest in Phillies history, and it is tied with some other all-time great baseball players. So there are a lot of people who think that Dick Allen is very well deserving of making it into the Hall of Fame. He unfortunately passed away back in 2020, but he will certainly be celebrated with the Hall of Fame induction. And let's take a look at market movers at the rookie card of both of these players. This is Dave Parker's rookie card right here. This is from 1974 Topps. We're going to look at that in PSA 6, PSA 7, and PSA 8. And then this is Dick Allen's rookie card from 1964 Topps, from 10 years earlier. There he is, Richie Allen. And we're going to look at this one in PSA 4, PSA 5, and PSA 6. And you can see on the graph that once that Hall of Fame news broke here over the course of the last few days, all of their cards instantly shot up. That often happens when players are announced that they have made it into the Hall of Fame. In fact, I mean, these are some massive increases from a percentage standpoint. Dave Parker's Topps cards, the PSA 6 shot up from $35 up to close to $80 over the last 30 days. The PSA 7 was also around $35. Now it is $150, and the PSA 8 has gone up from $170 to $207. For Dick Allen, his PSA 4 has jumped from $82 to $127 over the last 30 days. His PSA 5 has gone from $128 to $155. And the PSA 6 has increased from $150 to $200. That is the bump that you get when you make it into the Hall of Fame. Certainly very well deserved for Dave Parker and for Dick Allen. Let's go to hockey for the number 2 card today, and it is Kirill Kaprizov, the left wing for the Minnesota Wild. Actually was on the top 5 list earlier this season, back in the top 5 again today. Kaprizov was drafted in the 5th round of the 2015 NHL draft, and there were concerns at that time about his size and his willingness to make the move to the NHL. He eventually made his debut for the Wild in 2020, and look at him today. Now Kaprizov currently leads the NHL with 42 points. He is on pace for 132 points this season. He's also tied for 4th in goals scored with 17 goals in the 26 games he has played so far this year. And of course, the Wild, they're having a great season as well. Great record, tied for first place in the Western Conference, and Kaprizov is one of the big reasons why. Let's look at a few of his rookie cards here in Market Movers. This is Kaprizov's 2020 Upper Deck Young Guns base card in PSA 10 condition. We're going to look at his Young Guns canvas card in PSA 10 condition as well. And then finally, the SP Future Watch Auto, numbered to $9.99. We're going to look at that in PSA 10 and in BGS 9.5 condition. We're looking on the chart over the last 60 days, and you can see these are all definitely very nice upward 60-day trend on all of these cards. In fact, over the last 60 days, they're up anywhere between 13% and about 50%. The Young Guns base in PSA 10 has risen from $160 to $182. The canvas has gone from $120 to $136. But how about the Future Watch Auto, the PSA 10 of Kaprizov's 2020 SP Authentic Future Watch Auto, numbered to $99. 30 days ago, that card was $1,210. It most recently sold for $1,810. That is a increase, a significant increase, almost a 50% increase on that card over the course of the last 30 days. We can also see the BGS 9.5, I should say the last 60 days. We can also see the BGS 9.5 has jumped from $727 up to $852 over that same stretch. All right, we've reached that point in the show. It is time for today's number 1 card. But before I give it to you, let me remind you that all of the charts and graphs from today's show are from Market Movers. And you can try Market Movers for free. It is the best way to track everything going on in the sports card hobby, to comp your cards and to track your own collection. And to do it, you just need to go to sportscardinvestor.com and click Market Movers in the main menu bar, or go to the App Store on your phone and search for Market Movers and download the Market Movers app today. Here we are. You ready for today's number 1 card? There is perhaps nobody hotter in the NFL right now than Saquon Barkley. Yes, Saquon Barkley just broke the Eagles' single-season rushing record this past Sunday against the Panthers. He finished that game with 124 rushing yards on 20 carries, but that brought his season total up to 1,623 yards. He now needs just 483 more yards in his final 4 games to break Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing record all-time of 2,105 yards. Now, do keep in mind that Eric Dickerson did that in 16 games, where now Barkley has a 17th game to benefit from, but nonetheless, he may soon become the all-time NFL rushing record holder. We'll see what takes place these last 4 games. But regardless of whether that happens or not, there's so many people out there that are simply excited about his performance to date that his football cards, they're hot and they're being scooped up. And we've got a bunch of them up here in Market Movers. We've got his 2018 Prism base card. We're gonna look at that in PSA 10 condition. We're gonna look at his Optic Holo in PSA 10 condition from 2018. Also the Optic base from 2018 in PSA 10 condition. How about his 2018 Downtown? Let's look at that in PSA 10 condition. Let's also look at his 2018 Kaboom in PSA 10 condition as well. And then finally his Donruss base card. All of these in PSA 10 condition. Look at that chart. That's a 30-day chart you see on the screen. That chart looks real nice. If you have any of Barclays cards, you are pretty happy with that chart right now. All of these cards up a bunch. Let's look at the ones that are up the most from a dollar standpoint. His Downtown has jumped from $640 to $690 in PSA 10 condition over the last 30 days. That's his rookie Downtown. How about his Kaboom? That one is up close to $400. That card was a little bit over $1,500 30 days ago. Most recently sold for a little bit over $1,900 for his rookie Kaboom in PSA 10. All of these cards doing quite well. His Prism base even, 30 days ago, you could have bought his Prism base rookie card from 2018 in PSA 10 condition for $68, and it most recently sold for $125. Those are really, really nice increases for anybody who holds any of Saquon's rookie cards. Hopefully you do. And hopefully you are joining us tonight for the virtual holiday sports card show. Don't forget, everything is being given away. This and a lot more starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, Tuesday night, as well as Wednesday night on this YouTube channel. So whatever time you're watching this video, pop over to our live cast. Check that out. It is all brought to you by Whatnot, and we definitely hope to see you there tonight here on Sports Card Investor. Until then, take care. Good night, everybody.